Beggar that I am even poor in thanks, but I thank you. That is from Shakespeare's Hamlet, and though George quoted the late Father Tom Keane, it is true that Shakespeare and Hamlet have influenced my language. I would like to thank the Board of Trustees and Mr. Rick Anderson, the class of 1980, and last but not least, to coin a phrase, my good friend George Schnell for his extravagant introduction. In this age of let it all hang out, or was that yesterday's phrase, George and I are of an age. He is one day older than I am. Polonius in Act 2 of Hamlet has the following speech, and I shorten it. Therefore, since brevity is the soul of wit, and tediousness the limbs and outward flourishes, I will be brief. Polonius goes on to be tedious, and I will try to be brief. And this handsome medal, it was designed by the late Father Thomas Keane, a particularly close friend. Now it shall take its place among the heirlooms to be worn on state occasions such as this. Its centerpiece is an encircled Jerusalem cross. Embedded sapphires grace each arm of the cross, and representations of the two Academy logos denote its place of origin. I humbly accept the honor and this medal. I'd like to introduce my family. My wife, Catherine, or Kay, I love her very much. At Christmas, we will have been married 60 years. I don't know how she did it. My daughter Betsy and her husband David Vidor, my daughter Moira Keane and her husband Tom Romans, my daughter Kathy, my son Michael, class of 74, and his son Gabriel of the class of 2017. Maria and Jeremy had to remain in New York. School is too important. Jeremy is a freshman at Regis and the equivalent school to St. Thomas Academy. Today is the feast of the archangels, Michael, Gabriel, and Raphael. 2 out of 3, not bad. My granddaughter Kate from Worcester, Massachusetts. Bill, her husband, had to stay in Worcester. And my granddaughter Ann Romans and her fiancé, Chris Hill. My brother, Father Keane, and our sister, Jane Brenny. To repeat, beggar that I am even poor in thanks, but I thank you. I am inducted into a noble company, those who serve their fellow beings by following the tradition of St. Thomas Aquinas and this school of which we are all so proud. 2 archbishops, a number of former students, a gallery of famous names, the St. Thomas Pantheon. That is indeed heady company. I thought I'd take a few minutes, a paltry few if you will, and tell you some anecdotes about some of them as I knew them. And I knew all of that illustrious gathering more or less well. Archbishop John Roche, Father Roche as we knew him, spent the summer after his ordination and before he came to St. Thomas Military Academy at St. Stephen's Parish in South Minneapolis. The pastor was Father Mickey Nolan, a well-known preacher. On one summer Sunday, Father Roche was in front of the church greeting the parishioners. A little old lady approached, and Father Roche said, "Didn't I see you at early Mass?" "Yes," she said, "I came back to hear Father Nolan preach." "Well," said Father Roche, "he isn't going to preach today." "Well, who is?" With pardonable pride, the new cleric said, "I am," at which point the little old lady turned on her heels and began to retrace her steps. Archbishop Roche told that story himself. Peter and Mary Ritten. Peter and Mary are incredibly loyal to St. Thomas. All their sons went to the academy, and their son Chris is following in their generous footsteps, having recently been named the director of institutional development. When Peter and Mary still lived in Annunciation Parish, they hosted a party. It may have been Chris's graduation party. At any rate, we were invited. I recognized as part of their decor a book open to a charming old world scene. Peter identified it as the town of Monschau, just south of Aachen, and the prettiest place they had visited in their recent tour. I had spent some weeks in the same place in the aftermath of the Battle of the Bulge. Father Tom Kohler. In 1995, Father Kohler's painting, The Five Little Peppers, won the Best of Show award at the Sister Kenny Show for Artists with Disabilities. At the reception, he overheard a lady saying, "I had my heart set on buying the painting which won the Best of Show award, but some elderly couple got there first." Kay and I were the elderly couple.